Hello everyone and welcome back to Comic 47 Vlogs, and we're going to be looking at this week's comics. So, what did we get this week? It's a lot smaller of a pile than last week was like a massive pile of comics. And today is just a small pile, so let's go over the ones that we got today. So, we have Calavera PI, Private Investigator, I think that's short for. Calavera is a really good comic series. It's a Latino Mexican um based comic because it has themes about like Dia de Muertos, La Muerte, Calavera, in English Day of the Dead, death and skulls, and these are very Mexican traditional things. Mexico has a lot of indigenous and Spain mix in the culture, so it's very interesting. This is specifically for people that know English and Spanish. You don't have to know Spanish, but it very much enriches the story if you're Mexican or born Mexican or have Mexican parents or etc. So, really good story. I'd recommend it. This is issue 3. Just read issue 1 or just wait till the trade paperback comes out and give it a read. Really good. We have the Lex Luthor, Superman Lex Luthor special. This is just like continuing the Superman, and then it says "Miss Me" because currently what's going on in the comics is that Lex Luthor has had like he lost his memory. I don't know why, when that happened, because I wasn't caught up with Superman before. So yeah, he lost his memory, and he's like currently he's bald with like a beard and mustache kind of look, and I guess now he's back. So I mean, what did you expect? All the villains are gonna go back to their status quo. All the heroes go back to the status quo. It's just how it is in comics. Well, DC Marvel comics specifically. So, let's see, interesting read. And if the arts is by Eddie Barrows, so the artwork is going to be really good. Look at that. Look at that. Amazing. Eddie Barrows is probably one of my all-time favorite comic book artists. Like, just phenomenal comic book artist. So this goes with the current Superman title. So it was like Superman, and then they had the like Superwoman special, and then they continued the series, and now they have the Lex Luthor special. So it kind of ties in together. Um, Green Arrow Green Lantern number 19. I'm starting with this comic because I read the Green Lantern kind of series events thing that's going on, so I think it starts here. From what I understood, so and it looks interesting. I'm not the biggest Green Lantern fan, but I kind of wanted to get into Green Lantern, just to give it a shot, I guess, and we'll see how that goes. Like, I don't dislike Green Lantern comics. I like them, kind of, but I just somehow have never like had an opening to get into Green Lantern, so I think this is it. Batman: The Long Halloween Noir Edition, meaning black and white. They have actually, I think noir means white, means night, in French, but they just call it Noir Edition when there's like a black and white comic. So look at that, very interesting read. This is this is the sequel, or I guess the trequel of Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween. I would recommend this. This is a really good ongoing comic right now, and I think it's a really good solid series. And issue 1 was good. It's kind of like a throwback to. This is a really nice page. I really love the characters. It reminds me of Frank Miller's Sin City. It reminds me a lot of older comics. So I think they should have I think they should release a black and white version, right? I feel like that would really make the comic nice. Like, it would give it a lot of you know. This I got You Never Heard of Me, issue 2 of 5. Looks like, I don't know. looks like an LGBT comic, right? With two women. So interesting. So they have I got issue 1, haven't read it. I got to catch up to it. But I think this is about a person's. The premise was really good. I can't, like, I remember I picked up issue 1 because the premise sounded really good, but I can't remember what it was. He had like some kind of superpower to tell that things were gonna happen, like, in the next few seconds. I don't remember. It was a good premise though, but I. And then we have Red Coat, issue number 9. I read half of it, haven't finished it, but here's the full. This is what I really like about Red Coat covers. They have like the full front and back, and Brian Hitch is the artist, the penciler. I think he's the penciler. Sometimes he does his own ink, so he's a good artist. He's a really good artist. There's times where I don't like his art style or how his characters look, but I think it really fits with Red Coat. But regardless of whether you like his art style or not, he's a very skilled artist. He can draw anything, and that's like a really hard thing to do. This is why he gets the big titles, like Ultimate Invasion. He got like Justice League, something, or JLA or something for a while. He got a lot of the big titles because that's what gets you in the comic book industry. You can draw anything. I mean, and obviously it's not like he can draw everything from his head. He uses references, and all artists should. But yeah, really good artist. And this is issue about Johnny Appleseed. Red Coat is an interesting series. I feel like lately though it's been kind of filler issues. Like the last issue was kind of filler. This one's filler. I don't mind it though. I felt like I kind of needed a break from the main story. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Hornsby and Halo. I really liked issue 1 a lot. I loved issue 1. I have to read issue 2. I gotta catch up. And issue 3. But it was like a very pleasant surprise. And I don't know, maybe the comic is not that big of a deal as I'm making it out to be, but to me personally, I love the premise so much. It's so good. And it's weird because it's not anything new exactly, but I just love the way they handle it, or I don't know. Um so basically heaven and hell have been fighting for just eternity or something like that. And they made a peace treaty. And the way that they handled it is that um, the princess and the prince of their respective realms would get swapped to Earth. What does that mean? The princess of Hell was gonna now incarnate on Earth as a human, right? Like she's gonna be passed to Earth as a human, raised by heavenly parents. And then the boy is going to be raised as a human, raised by hellish parents. So they're going to be raised by their opposite, sort of like the opposite thing. So she's going to be raised by good parents. He's going to be raised by bad parents, right? And that's how they've made like a peace treaty between heaven and hell. And the idea is to understand each other's perspectives. It's a really interesting premise. It's just like, and then when they dream, I guess at night they turn into these to their true forms, I guess. Um, but yeah, so I don't know, really underrated series. There's actually both published by Ghost Machine, Image Comics. Ghost Machine is like this kind of whole thing that Jeff Johns is putting together. He has his own, and I've read all of these, and I would say pretty solid. Rook Exodus was fun. Geiger is like one of my favorites right now. Hyde Street is really good. There's a couple of them, so really good stuff. And now we have, last but not least, The Seasons #1, by Image Comics. It's a new series. The art looks interesting. The cover looks interesting. I remember I read the premise a while back, and it seemed kind of interesting. So I'm curious to see. So one thing I'm confused about, this is $4, right? But it has like so many pages. Like, look how thick this is not a $4 comic. I mean, I'm getting my money's worth. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying that's interesting how, look at that. That's a thick $4 comic. So I would get it. It's worth it, worth your money. Just for that alone. But I don't know if how good it is. I'm gonna try issue one and see where that goes. So actually, one final thing I have is like this image catalog that the comic store put. So these are now Image Comics is like successful enough to start putting their own catalog. And I really respect that because independent publishers really need more praise, in my opinion. Image Comics is somewhere in this realm of independent publishing and not independent. It's kind of like people have this independent comic they want to do, but they do it through Image to get publicity. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. Um, so these are just upcoming comics for the month of April. So you can be on the lookout for all those. And the reason why there was so little comics today is A, I think because just all the ones that I personally wanted came out last week already. And B, just the store did not bring in any of the Marvel titles. And it's not the store's fault, it's Diamond Comics, the distributors. Again, they just don't really do much about it. Diamond Comics is kind of a company that just has a lot of ups and downs, and they're just not very good at distributing to the stores. So I didn't get any Marvel titles. Like I was supposed to get Carnage Eddie Brock #1. I was really hyped for that, but well, I'll just get it next week. Yeah, so those are the comics of the week that I got. This is my comic haul. So I actually got these today, so this is like brand new today. So anyways, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.